if you are going to do this, if it's in your heart, then you need to start calling yourself a filmmaker. You got to start calling yourself a producer. I don't care. Faking it till you make it, whatever. You got to do whatever you got to do, but you need to call yourself a filmmaker.
Your plan was to go into medicine?
Yes, my father's plan for me. Indian people, like I'm Indian, are doctor, lawyer, engineers usually and stuff. And my dad was a doctor, and he had one son, myself, that was intellectually stimulated by medicine, and so he thought you should be a doctor. And I got up into doing a master's in neurobio, and doing well enough on the MCAT to be able to go to a school. And I just told him I don't want to do this. I wanted to do film instead.
So when you told him, I don't want to do this, did you take any new measures to get yourself into film after that? Or it was a weaning off process?
I told him, and he was like, well, if you're going to do it, you got like 2 years to figure it out, right? Just do it. So I got an internship. I wanted to do development. I wanted to do producing. So I got an internship with a guy named David Friendly, who worked on the Fox side, had a 3-picture deal. And he did such movies as Big Mama's House, or Dr. Dolittle, the Eddie Murphy one. I cut my teeth being an intern there, and then got to be an assistant, and then discovered the amazing world of market research for film, which I then started doing for 18 years, started testing movies for a living.
What are your thoughts on balancing a day job and being an artist?
I mean, everyone's got to eat, right? That's the toughest thing. I mean, I think that if you have to have a day job, I think that you have to do some work for your art every day. If it's 10 minutes, great. If it's an hour, it'd be better if it's an hour, then that's the best idea. You have to sort of it's hard because you get bogged down in your day job and you don't think about those times you're going to be on set and when you get to set, how important that is. You got to remove everything out of your head in terms of that day job. This is the real job that you're trying to do. So many people, have this imposter syndrome where they're they don't want to call themselves filmmakers, but that's what you are. If you are going to do this, if it's in your heart, then you need to start calling yourself a filmmaker. You got to start calling yourself a producer. I don't care. Faking it till you make it, whatever. You got to do whatever you got to do, but you need to call yourself a filmmaker. Because if that's in your heart and that's what you want to do, then that's what you need to do. And you need to work on it every day for at least an hour, I'd hope. Some days are worse than others, I get that too. But if you really do want to succeed, you have to be persistent. You always hear about you have these friends that are not successful and they're doing their day jobs and they're also doing trying to find this dream. Then you find 1 out of 10 friends actually succeeds. And you're like, well, how did that friend succeed? Versus the other friends that are sitting around LA and think they're actors, but they never go on auditions or whatever it is, right? That person works really hard and they're prepared. And I'm not going to say this fakakta opportunity means, whatever it is, if you've worked and put the hours in and you have something really unique, then it's going to be seen one day. And you have to make sure that you're persistent. You have to this is what you do. This is my job. I earn money over here for my living expenses, but this is my job over here. That's what you have to think about it, I think.
When your dad said 2 years, you had left this master's program,
yeah.
And your dad said 2 years. Did you feel this immense pressure or did you feel immense freedom?
I knew in my head whatever he told me I was never going back. That's what I knew. I think the thing of it for me was that I felt freedom for sure. I felt like a big weight had been lifted. That's true too. Film is not easier than medicine, but it's different for sure. I just knew for me, I was never going back there. And I would do anything I would have to do to try to be successful in some part of the industry to show my father that I can make a living, I'm happy, I don't want to do that anymore, so let me do this. And I did. It was film market research and so forth, and that was fine. And, my dad would always kid me, we can still get you into med school in the Caribbean. I was like, no, Dad, I'm happy doing what I'm doing now. And at the end of the day, I was very happy when my dad passed this year. And I was very happy that he actually got to see, he come to set see what we were doing filming the movie. And then once we got to #1 on Netflix, he really did, like, he was just like, my son's a producer. Like, he actually was just like, yeah, it was nice.
That's great. What are some things that stopped you from making that leap in the very beginning, from having a day job to filmmaking?
Look, I think that everyone's plagued by self-doubt. You know, they're just like, is this the right script? No, is this the right script? Is this the right script? Well, I don't want to start unless it's going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Okay? It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to have enough money. You're never going to have enough time. You're never going to have, it's never a perfect situation. I think at some point excuse my language, just say fuck it. And I'm going to now I'm going to do this. And you have a team around you, right? That's the other thing too. Like, unless I had like my producing partner, Shane Borster, we have a company called Malevolent Films. He also did market research for film, right? We both kind of were cut from the same cloth. And we found this, 1BR script. We've had many scripts, but we found 1BR in particular, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is a great script. We need to sit and, meet with these guys. And we met with David Marmer, who's an amazing writer, writer-director. He'd never done a feature before, but we were like, hey, we're first-time producers. You're a first-time writer-director. What could go wrong? A lot. But we met with him. We liked him. He was one part of the puzzle, right? We had the script. We had the director who we thought would be the guy that could bring it home. And we had other producers that we kind of aligned with who were more experienced producers who were like, this can be real. We can go and do this thing. We just need to have the money. And that's, obviously a big thing that stops people too, is having the money. And we thought, we went all over the place looking for money. We didn't find any money because no one wants to trust a first-time producer and first-time writer-director. That's like low on people's list of wanting to trust. So we decided to bet on ourselves. Shane put some money in, I mortgaged an already paid off house. And even the writer-director, David Marmer, put in a lion's share of the money too, equal on footing to all of us, in fact. He bet on himself at the end of the day. So, like I said, you're never going to have the time, you're never going to have the money, you're never going to have everything be perfect. But when you have at least some of the pieces and you have now confidence a little bit, confidence sometimes has to build, there's a lot of self-doubt. But if you can find the confidence and have the team around you that has the confidence too, then you can go forward and make it. And you might as well, because no one's getting any younger. I'm going to say that. And
who was the first one to put money in?
Shane and I. We're first funding it, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna, we shot for 15 days initially, in December 2017, and then we needed to do reshoots for it. And so at that point, our writer-director, David Marmer, helped out for that, and he also helped out because he wanted sets instead of real locations and stuff, so.
So the two of you both took that leap together?
Yes, yeah.